This is video 5 in my Pinterest Marketing for Beginners series. By now, if you've watched all the videos, you've created your account, you started creating pins, and you're using keywords. Now we get to the really important part of why you're using Pinterest: to drive traffic to your website. If this is the first video you're watching in this series, watch this whole video, then click on the link below in the description to go back to the playlist and watch the previous 4 videos. That will definitely bring you up to speed. Okay, let's dive in. The traffic mindset shift. This is really important. Pinterest traffic is different than social media traffic. When you post something on Instagram, you might get a spike in engagement, or maybe not. It might last a few hours, sometimes maybe the lucky ones a few days. But when you post something on Pinterest, people are often confused, like it's not doing anything. Where's it going? Pinterest might not give you any traffic on that particular pin for days, weeks, or even months. But once it does get engagement and it starts to bring traffic to your website, it can do so for years. I have a particular pin that I pinned in 2017 about how to clean up Pinterest boards. It still, to this day, 9 years later, drives a significant amount of traffic to my website. So just because it's not working in the beginning doesn't mean that Pinterest for traffic isn't a thing. It just takes a little bit of time. The important thing you need to remember is that you need to pin for at least 60 to 90 days consistently in the beginning in order to start to see movement. Now, I want to be transparent with you. It takes time to build the snowball on Pinterest. At least 6 to 9 months of investment. So if you're watching this video or the previous videos before thinking, I wonder if Pinterest marketing is right for my business, you need to make a decision now that you're going to invest for potentially a full year to see if it actually works, which I know sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, that's generally what we do with any other platform that we're using for marketing. We don't just invest in it for a couple of months. We look at it and say, how is this going to transform my business in the long haul? And I need a significant amount of time in order to see that happen. So make sure you have that mindset shift set appropriately that Pinterest is going to take some time. Step 2. Creating traffic-worthy content. Don't just assume that you're going to pin anything to Pinterest and then magically, voila, you're going to get a ton of traffic coming from Pinterest. People actually have to want to read it or look at your products. So if you're creating a roundup, say, of 10 really easy dinner recipes to make, or 10 tips to travel Spain on a budget, actually deliver on that content. This is why people don't like AI slop, because someone took a title like that and they pulled up all of this junk, and then when people get there, they think, is this an actual human? Does somebody know about how to travel Spain? Have they done it before? Make it really good so that people do want to stay on your website and read that click-worthy content, which in turn means that Pinterest goes, oh, you're really good. We're going to show more of your stuff to other people. So don't just phone it in and make crappy content. Make something that people actually want to read. Okay, if you're tracking with me and if you agree that AI slop blog posts are just generally garbage, then give me a like. If you really like AI slop, I don't know if I'm for you. So don't hit the dislike button. All right, moving on. Now we're going to talk about the power of fresh pins. If you have been in the Pinterest marketing world for any amount of time, you may have heard this term fresh pins. Now, I love the term fresh, but a couple years ago, this was really overplayed. So what this means is, let's say you create that amazing click-worthy blog post that people want to read that's not AI slop, and you create this amazing image because you watched that last video and now you're rocking your images in Canva. That would be classified as a fresh pin. It's a new blog post, it's a new pin, and you're putting that on Pinterest. This also applies to an e-commerce listing. Let's say you have a roundup of all the sandals you sell and you create a fresh pin image for it and you put that on Pinterest. That's considered fresh. Now, there's levels of freshness, which this gets into a lot of different nuances and all the things that are definitely not fit for beginners. But the question that beginners do have is, okay, Kate, I've created my blog post and I've created my image. can I create more images? The answer is absolutely you can. So this has like a downgraded level of freshness, but this is still really important because let's say you're doing a roundup of those 10 great easy dinners to make. You can also highlight a particular dinner on that blog post. So maybe you want to write something that says your 10 best dinners. You can do one of those dinners. Let's say it's fettuccine Alfredo. You can create an image for that and lead to that blog post. You might say easy fettuccine Alfredo plus 9 other recipes. So people know that they can get more. That is still leading to the same location, but now you have 2 images for it. Now, if that confused you and you're like, I don't even know what you're saying, just go ahead and create your one image and go to the blog post. And when you hear the word fresh pin, you're like, yep, I have a fresh pin for this blog post or this product listing. Done and done. For those who do want to experiment with this level of freshness, here's my workflow. I create 2 to 3 images per blog post. Usually we just stick on 2. We might change it up with some of our words. We might change it up with the image, but here's the most important part. Whatever image I use, the Pinterest user who clicks on that and hops over to my website knows they're in the right place because those images match what they found on my website. It's kind of like they're following a trail. Think about if you used a different type of image, different types of words. Let's say it was how to use video on Pinterest, and they come to my website and they land on how to grow your email list using Pinterest. They would go, I got the wrong pin. I am not in the right place. Make sure that the pinner is in the right place based on the image that you use and the landing page that you have. That landing page can be a landing page. It can be a blog post. It can be a product listing. Just make sure the image and the landing page match. Pinning frequency. All right, this is a question that I have gotten for years. I have been doing Pinterest marketing now for 12 years. I have owned the agency Simple Pin Media for 12 years, and I have taught so many webinars. I have taught sessions for other companies. I have taught sessions on stage. And I will tell you the number one question without fail is how many times do I pin per day? Now, this is a normal question to ask because when we look at any other social media platforms, there is a cadence, there is a rhythm. I am constantly hearing from my friends who use Instagram that Instagram only likes this many stories, this many slides in a carousel, and this many posts on your feed. Here's the beautiful thing is that Pinterest doesn't really care about that. There's never been this level of how often you have to pin to like hit the sweet spot. So you can just take that out of your brain and go, okay, I don't have to aim for anything. But what you do need to focus on is how can I be consistent? So what I don't want you to do is pin one today on a Monday, next week on a Tuesday, 3 weeks from now on a Friday. I want you to be pinning at least one pin every day. Now, when I say that, some people are like, just one pin? Can I go up to 5 or 10 or even 30? You absolutely can. If you want to go up that high, you're more than welcome to. But what you want to avoid is pinning back to back of the same thing. Because when somebody happens onto your profile, which is not very often, they will see what you have created. This is every single pin that's gone onto your profile. I can tell you many stories of people that I have met at conferences and they tell me their sister-in-law's pinning for them or a VA somewhere, and they go onto their Pinterest account and it's 30 to 40 of the same exact image back to back to back. We don't want that. We want variety going on to Pinterest. So in order to maintain variety, if you only pin one per day, go for it. I think that is a great solution. If you can still maintain variety because maybe you have so much content that you can pin 10 to 20 times per day, go for it. The thing that I am really trying to hammer home here is consistency and that you want to have variety. So if you were aiming for that, your number of pins per day, it doesn't matter. So when somebody asks that question, you can go, I'm sticking with 1 to 2 per day like Kate told me, and I'm going to do just fine. Okay, little caveat here. the follow-up question that I get. Can I pin other people's content? You absolutely can pin other people's content. It is more than okay. But I want you to be pinning your content first. There's all these ratios thrown around, 80, 20, 70, 30, 30, 70, whatever. Don't worry about those. The most important part is that you're consistent, you're sharing your content, and if you want to build up your board, somebody asked this actually in my insiders group. We have a little group on school, which is so awesome, called SPM Insiders. We do a once a month call over there with questions that people submit. And somebody was asking that question. They wanted to build up a kind of a lookbook board. They had wedding invitations and they wanted to align it with Pinterest Predicts, which is super cool. If you don't know what Pinterest Predicts is, I'll put it down below in the description. But it's basically the trends that are not yet trending on Pinterest, but it's what they know potentially will trend based on search data. So she was asking if I want to target green or gummy, or for example, last year in Pinterest Predicts was pickle margarita. So she was trying to go along the lines of the trends and then pin other people's content to fill up that board. That is a great idea. That is very, very strategic. So don't just pin other people's stuff because you heard somewhere along the way that Pinterest liked it when you pin other people's stuff. Be smart and strategic about leveraging other people's content in order to help your content grow. All right, now that you have your account set up, you're creating pins, you're leveraging keywords, and you figured out how often to pin per day, and you're doing this for like 60 to 90 days, and now you want to see, is it working? It's very important that you track your traffic. Here's how basic I'm going to say it. We have a spreadsheet. I track impressions. I track outbound clicks, and then I track saves. I'll do a deeper video on what all of those mean and analytics in the future. But what I want you to just stick with right here is tracking. Now, I am by no means an expert in Google Analytics, Microsoft Clarity. I actually loathe a program that makes it really difficult for me to get to the data. So Google Analytics, you can simply ask Chat, Claude, whoever, how to get to your analytics in Google Analytics about Pinterest. I'm saying analytics a lot, but you get the point. What I do like about Google Analytics right now is I can go in at the top and I can say, how many Pinterest sessions did I get from, or how many sessions to my website did I get from Pinterest last month? I'll screenshot it for you here and it'll just tell you. That is a significant improvement with what they call GA4 analytics. I like it. But I also like Microsoft Clarity. I will show you a quick screen capture here of a video. I like it because it's intuitive and it tells me how much traffic Pinterest is bringing to my website so that I know where they're entering and I can make sure those pages are optimized. If I don't know any of that, then essentially I'm kind of going in blind. I'm like, well, I hope it works. So you want to be looking at what are the pins that are driving the most traffic to your website. You can also use Pinterest Analytics. Pinterest Analytics is great as well. I'm going to show you that here. It's such an intuitive tool to tell you what is happening 30, 60, 90 days. I always track 30 days. I don't look at a week. I don't look at 2 weeks. 30, 60, 90 is really what I'm aiming for. So leverage Microsoft Clarity or Google Analytics, and then also look at Pinterest Analytics one time per month and track it in a spreadsheet so you can see how your growth is going. We talk a lot about seasonality. I'm not going to get into that in this video here, but in a future video, I'll definitely address what it looks like to track your analytics and how to spot trends in your seasonality on your Pinterest account. Here are some common mistakes I really want you to avoid when it comes to driving traffic from Pinterest to your website. 1, pinning the same thing over and over and over again. Just don't do it. 2, only pinning to one board. Some people are afraid to share that same pin to another board that is relevant. That is more than okay for you to do. For example, if I have my pin about how to use Pinterest to grow your email list, I might put it on Pinterest marketing for bloggers, Pinterest marketing for beginners, Pinterest marketing tips, or social media tips. I can put it on all of those and maybe spread it out every 7 to 14 days so that it's not going out back to back to back, but it's kind of dripping out. I use a tool called Tailwind. I really love it. It's one of my favorite tools. I have used it actually since 2016. So for 10 years, we have tried multiple other scheduling tools, and hands down, this is the best one. We have 20 people on our team and everybody loves Tailwind, and we've tried so many and we just cannot jump ship. So Tailwind is obviously not sponsoring this video. We just love them. Number 3 is broken links. Oftentimes people get busy, they create this amazing image, they upload it to Pinterest, and they forget to add a link. If you forget to add a link, where are people going to go? So always make sure you add a destination URL when you are uploading a pin. This is a missed opportunity to get traffic because people won't know where to go. Number 4, and I actually think this is one of the most important, so listen up, giving up too soon. A lot of people come to me about 3 months into their Pinterest marketing strategy and they say, Kate, it's not working and I think I'm going to give up. Now here's the deal. I just told you a couple minutes ago that Pinterest takes 6 to 9 months. It takes a while to really get lift. So if that's the case, and at the 3-month mark, you're feeling like nothing's really happening, or what often happens is that you have this expectation because maybe you heard about somebody crushing it with Pinterest, and then it's not aligning with what you thought would happen, so you're discouraged. Very normal. So don't give up too soon. Sometimes people will have lift on their pins 6, 9, even 12 months. Did you know the lifespan of a pin on average is 13 months? That's an average. So you have to give it time. Don't give up too soon. All right, I dropped this a couple minutes ago, but I'll say it here. If you are someone that really needs support and help when it comes to your Pinterest marketing and you have more questions, join our school community, SPM Insiders. It's just $9 a month. That's it. And we have a Q&A every month. We have really rich, thoughtful discussion, and we're able to troubleshoot where you're at with your Pinterest marketing. In fact, just this month, we have a thread in there all about creative ways to make Pinterest images that stand out from the AI slop that is on the platform. So that being said, we would love to have you. You can go ahead and join. But first, before you go, here's what I want to say. Pinterest is a long game. It's something that doesn't necessarily feel good to market on. Something like Instagram has dopamine hits. It's like, oh my gosh, I got a like, I got a comment, I got impressions. Those things don't matter on Pinterest. Well, maybe with the exception of impressions, but there's no likes and comments that are going to make you feel like you're doing anything. So don't give up too soon. Set your sights on 6 to 9 months right now and track your progress along the way. Create great images, leverage keywords, and be consistent. And I promise you there will be great growth. In the next video, which is going to be wrapping up the series, we're going to give you a 30-day action plan. So 30 days to really get this ball rolling and help you be consistent about your Pinterest marketing. Alrighty, we'll see you in the next video.